I specifically work with each one of our manufacturers on enhanced offerings like analytics and serialization to make sure that as they're looking to commercialize their product, we're giving them a breadth of services that they may not have necessarily seen with other competitors that are out there. So serialization for manufacturers, the simplest thing is that it's really going to allow us to look at making sure that the product that's flowing through the supply chain is much more secure and we've got more visibility to it. If you really think about historically the way pharmaceutical manufacturers were tracked, or product was tracked, there was always a lot in an expiration date, for example, to let you know that particular batch and what was included with it. But now we're actually just going one level deeper to unit level serialization to allow them to know that this particular product was shipped to this location, was ultimately shipped out to this distribution center, and at the end of the day was ultimately taken by this patient. And so that's what serialization is in a nutshell. And I think the good news for manufacturers now is they're going to have much more visibility to that product as it flows through the supply chain. So ICS has been doing a number of things to prepare for serialization. So huge investments in people, process, and technology. We realized that in order for us to really be ready for not only the 2017 mandates, but the mandates going out all the way to 2023, is we had to invest in technology. So there's a number of things we're doing there. In addition to that, we've got a number of pilots that we've kicked off. So we've got a phase 1 pilot, for example, that was really focused on partnering with a few of our manufacturers just to make sure that as the product flows into our facility, number one, we can get the product and it works as expected, all the systems that we put in place. But number two, the data exchange component works as well. So we're going to continue to do those pilots all the way through November in anticipation of the date. And hopefully by that time, we've got everything fixed by that point to be ready for the November 2017 mandate. So as we work through the pilot, I think there's a few different things. Number one, everybody's got a slightly different interpretation of the law, which makes it really, really difficult as a partner in the 3PL space because we're having to take that interpretation and find the best solution for each one of those manufacturers. A good example of that is what you're noticing is a lot of manufacturers have taken some guidance that were out there related to labeling, but we still see multiple flavors of labels that are out there. So part of our concern is that although we've got the technology to be able to scan and read that, we're ultimately looking at the dispensing end of it to make sure that when that product gets to the patient, they've got everything that they need to scan that product as well. So we're learning a lot. There's a lot of things that we didn't anticipate that we're seeing in some of the pilots. But that's why you go through the pilot, so you can take a lot of those lessons learned and hopefully fold it back into your processes to really make it simpler as we look at November of 2017.